This video will provide some tips and tricks in order to get the most out of the MyoDAQ data acquisition software. We will start by showing how to manipulate the X and Y scales. If you move your cursor over into the Y-axis, you can use the roller function on your mouse to stretch or compress the Y-axis. If you move your cursor into the data section and you use the same roller function, you can move the entire scale up or down. Now, moving your cursor into the X-axis and using the roller function, you can move forward or back throughout your experiment. You can do the same by holding Shift on your keyboard and again using the roller function to move forward or back while your cursor is in the data section. Alternatively, if you hold Alt and you use the roller function, you can zoom in on a particular point of your experiment. This will help with data analysis. When trying to take measurements from your data, you can highlight as many sections as you would like before adding them to the datasheet. Simply drag the cursor throughout your experiment. You can do this on all channels. When you have all the selections you would like to use, you can click Add All Selections to the datasheet. Press Yes, and now all channels will have the selections that you have made. You also have the ability to resize your selections. You can do this at any point. This will also change the measurement that you take in the datasheet. If you right-click on one of your selections, you can remove that selection, or you can add that specific channel's selection to the datasheet. When viewing data, it can be helpful to see the exact force as you scroll through. If you right-click on any particular channel, you have the option to show a mini window. Select this, and now you have a window showing that channel's force. So as we reach the peak, we can see that the force is 1.62 millinewtons, and at the low end, we have 0.54 millinewtons. You have the option to customize the setup of what you would like to collect. You can check or uncheck particular channels if you will not be using them. You also have the option to record force or tension, as well as adding a low-pass filter. Markers should be used throughout your experiment to help you during the data analysis. During your experiment, you can add a marker by clicking this button. You can also double-click during or after your experiment. You can also double-click to add a marker. This will bring up a window to allow you to select which channels you would like to add the marker and what should be said. You can see we now have our marker added. If you would like, you can drag this comment to a more appropriate spot in the experiment. You can also see all the comments made by selecting the marker list. By clicking on this button, you can see every comment that has been made throughout the experiment. If you would like to go to a particular comment to view the data, simply double-click and it will take you right to that time. You also have the option of changing the text of any comment through the marker list. You can see that the marker on channel 1 has been changed. You also have the option to right-click and delete that comment. Before you start your experiment, you have the option to select your sampling rate for the experiment. You do not need to use any more than 20 samples per second. This will help save on file size and when exporting data. Lastly, you have multiple options for exporting your data. Under Files and Export, you can select as many channels as you would like, and you can export all data or only the selections that you have made. You also have the ability to right-click and export that particular selection.